Hi, I'm Hallie Jackson, and you've just been watching the funeral ceremonies beginning, the state funerals of President Jimmy Carter at the Capitol. We will have more coverage of that in just a bit, but first, we've got to get to some other major breaking news tonight out of California. There is now a massive fire. It's more than 700 acres in the L.A. area, in the Pacific Palisades area. And if you know L.A., you know that this is a place where a lot of people live. This fire is threatening buildings. It's threatening homes. Some 19 million people are now at risk in this region, from Santa Monica down to San Diego. We can't say it enough. This is the heart of the densely populated Southern California region. We want to go now to our NBC station, KNBC, with their live coverage right now. Let's listen in.
What did you do? You've evacuated the area?
Yes. I mean, so once I saw that smoke, I kind of took I was on standby a little bit, but I saw it grow pretty rapidly, between 15 to 20 minutes. I packed up the car. I grabbed my necessary documents and any kind of valuables of that nature just to make sure I was ready to go in the event of an evacuation. And then I think it was around maybe 11 or 12. That's when it really started to get serious, and we heard that there was multiple fires in the area, and I grabbed everything as fast as possible, hopped in the car, and then waited on Palisades Drive. I did attempt to go down Palisades Drive, but it was like a tornado of fire all around me. So the firefighters were there telling us to turn around. I sped back up the mountain and honestly just waited it out until I felt like, we were good to go, and then got the green light to come down the mountain.
Lacey, not to make light of this, but you are a firefighter's dream in terms of, being prepared, having what you needed, and getting out
and
even
taking
before.
orders.
Yeah, exactly. Taking ownership of what you need to do. Again, so when you made it down and you were told to go back up, what were you thinking at that point?
I felt like I was in a video game, to be honest with you. It didn't feel like real life. That it was fire whipping all around me. I couldn't believe it. I had to evacuate when there was the Woolsey fire, and several. Never ever been this scared or this close to a fire like this before.
Lacey, does it seem to be moving away from your area now?
It seems like it's going towards the ocean, and not going up towards the valley. It seems like it's going towards the ocean. Now, when I did actually get down, there were cars parked on the sidewalks like it was an apocalypse, and just sporadic little fires everywhere. I'm just so glad to have gotten out, even though it's not coming towards me.
Lacey, you mentioned the Woolsey fire. You had to evacuate then. This, I assume, is your second time. Will you continue to live in the area?
I'm sorry, what was that question again?
I said you've evacuated before. You mentioned this, and it sounds hellish, what you went through trying to get out. Will you continue to live in that area?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is that's the beauty of where we live. I love the location. I love being close to the water. It's kind of a trade-off, to be honest with you. We know, and we've known ever since we moved into this house, that fire is a concern. But if it's not fire, then if we live somewhere else, it could be tornadoes. So it's kind of just the trade-off with where we live, in my opinion. Over
the course of time, Lacey, since you first made contact with our colleague and your friend Brittany, this fire has grown from 20 to 200, 300, and now 772 acres. Based on the fact that you're there witnessing this all, are you at all surprised by how fast this fire has moved and how fast it has grown?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I feel like it was within seconds, where I thought it was just isolated in one location, and then seconds later, I'm, being told it's in another location. I think that's the scariest part. At a certain point, I thought, okay, maybe it might be safer at my house, but just, again, seeing how fast the fire moves, and it moves from one tree to the next tree like it's magic, I just was like, you know what, this does not make sense. Everything in my house is replaceable. I just need to get out of here. So, yes, definitely very scary with how fast it moves and how unpredictable it is.
Lacey, talk to us a little bit about community there. You mentioned you're in a home up there. Are neighbors looking out for neighbors? Did people stay behind? What did you see when you came back to the neighborhood?
Yes, I was hanging out in my neighbor's driveway, actually, talking to him about his thoughts and what he, was experiencing, because he was a Palisades native specifically. And then, it was a lot of camaraderie with my neighbors saying hey, it's blocked off again. Don't go down there. It was at least 6 or 7 of us discussing what our next steps were. And really, we have a close-knit community. So I will say, we're all here for each other, and all the neighbors were working together on what we were going to do next.
Yeah, the fact that you you took your own personal advice, you listened to your gut and your husband, and you got out of there.
Yeah.
And your property and your family and everyone within the area, all safe at this point?
Yeah, we're all safe. I've got my 2 dogs in the back seat, my German Shepherd and my Husky. They're pretty upset they're not at home, but I think they'll thank me later. And yeah, my husband is also safe. He's driving towards me now. So I feel good about my decision, and everything is replaceable, not myself or my dogs or my husband. So
Lacey, anything you would do differently moving forward in terms of
moving forward?
Yeah, protection of the house, neighborhood, anything like that.
Differently moving forward, I would say, I mean, just advice for anyone, always have copies of your documents ready in one singular location. Like, know where everything is, and I don't think I really would do anything different. Maybe leave like 10 minutes earlier, honestly. I feel like just 10 minutes would have made me not get stuck up there for so long. But I would say just from like a document perspective and all your valuables, like keeping those in one place is definitely key.
All right. Lacey, Nori, thank you so much for your time and this experience and taking us through what you have been through here since early this morning. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Glad to hear that you're safe.
It is one thing to hear from firefighters about what you should do, but sometimes when you hear it firsthand from someone like Lacey about what she did and how she did the right thing, it resonates a little bit more.
I think she's going to be the new LAFD spokesperson
there
now,
you go.
in terms of what
to
to
be right
do,
about that,
because she just nailed it from start to finish. All right, so we want to bring in now meteorologist Melissa McGee, obviously keeping a very close eye on what is happening and what's to come. Melissa?
Yeah, that's right, Michael and Colleen. It's a dangerous situation in the sense that we're dealing with these Santa Ana winds. So something sparks the fire, and then we've got weather conditions. In this case, the Santa Ana winds that help the fire get bigger, faster, and more dangerous. And it's dangerous because those Santa Anas, as we look at this satellite loop, this is a 2-hour loop, it really gives you a clear picture of what's going on. If you look and take your eye just to the west of L.A., you can see we've got this area. It looks like clouds, but this is actually our satellite imagery picking up the smoke in the atmosphere. And it's all because of those Santa Ana winds. So we've got those winds coming in really strong, so fast out of the northeast, dropping through the mountains, the canyons and passes, and in this case, through the basin, all the way down to the coast there in the Palisades. And that's why we're dealing with those strong winds. We just spoke to the young lady who said now it looks like the smoke is moving toward the coast. And that's exactly right in terms of Santa Ana wind formation. And it's not just in the Palisades. We've got strong winds everywhere. Van Nuys, gust up to 46 miles per hour. Santa Clarita, gusting up to 55 miles per hour. Haven't really touched on Orange County and the IE, but still very strong there as well. Santa Ana, winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Riverside, 41. Ontario, 45 miles per hour. Bringing it back to the Palisades, you could see not only do we have the winds, but strong relative humidity that's lowering too, guys.
All right, Melissa, thank you for that. Our Camilla Rambaldi is live at Glenhaven Drive and Lockman Lane. That's an area where we saw a lot of smoke, and it's still going on out there. Camilla.
Colleen, Melissa, talking about those strong winds, those gusts, it has only increased here at this hour. You can just tell from our live shot just how intense the wind is, and you can see the plumes of smoke here behind us taking over this hillside. Left, you can also see some of those active flames up here on the hillside, and you can just see in our live shot and just hear just how powerful these winds are, and that has just been the biggest concern for this area, moving this wind in every direction. Low visibility, and also just the air quality has only decreased here in the last few hours. So very difficult to breathe right now, but you can just see just the amount of smoke that is accumulating here from this fire. We're here off of Glenhaven Drive and Lockman Drive. Earlier we saw several people using hoses to just put water on their homes, taking any steps they can to protect their property. Earlier in the afternoon, I also saw several people trying to evacuate. But as we've been reporting this afternoon, Sunset Boulevard here at a gridlock. So it's so hard to get out with people stuck in traffic back to back. Colleen.
Yeah, well, Camilla, I'll pick it up from here. Camilla, so we have had a couple of other reporters here near or around the same location you are right now. Are there folks still in the neighborhood, cars coming in and out? What are you seeing?
I am still seeing some cars come through, not as much as earlier. You know, obviously people have started to leave, but there's still some people coming through. Earlier we were on, I believe it was Carmel Avenue, and you could still see some homeowners in the area trying to figure out, what to do, their next steps, as they saw this massive plume of smoke just behind their home. So obviously having to take that immediate action and that concern with these powerful winds that continue to pick up.
Well, talk to us a little bit about the winds. Are they picking up out there right now? Describe what it was like when you arrived on scene to where it is right now.
When I first got here, just about around noon, the winds weren't as strong, and just in the last, I'd say 20 minutes that we've been here in this area, specifically on Lockman Lane and
All right, so
I heard her correctly. It's like they are picking up right now.
Yeah, she said within the last 20 minutes or so, those winds out there in the Palisades, Pacific Palisades, have actually picked up. Melissa, we want to bring you in now to, sort of piggyback on what Camilla is saying at this point.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's so hard just with reception because of the winds in that area. It's a big concern, and we're starting to see the winds pick up at this moment. Earlier, we were talking about gusts in the Palisades in the teens. Now we're at 24 miles per hour. Topanga Beach, 35 miles per hour. Santa Monica Mountains, and at 60 miles per hour. And these winds continue to get stronger in that area. They're coming through the mountains, through the canyons and passes, all the way down to the beach and the Palisades community here. Also starting to see the relative humidity drop as well. When we first came on the air and told you about the Palisades fire, relative humidity was anywhere from 35 to about 45%. And because those strong Santa Anas are coming in from the northeast, quickly racing through those canyons and passes, that air compresses, it warms at the surface, and it dries at the surface, and that's drying out the atmosphere as well. I want to show you what's going on with the fire speed, because when we first went on the air, in terms of acreage, this was about 200 acres, and you could see it's more than 700 acres at this hour. So as fires move uphill, they spread and they move rapidly. Every 10 degree of slope, the fire will double in speed. So essentially, you've got the rising heat from the flames preheating the fuel out ahead of it up the slope, causing it to ignite even faster. So let's talk about the Santa Ana wind event. What's next? What does this mean for everyone in Southern California? Because this is a dangerous situation in the sense that the winds are so severe for a prolonged period of time. Looking at the pictures there on the left, you could see that Santa Ana wind is just blowing that smoke in erratic directions right now. And then look at this. We've got what looks like a Porsche there and a structure, perhaps a vehicle fire. A structure fire as well, with some hot spots in the area. So those Santa Ana winds are blowing these embers long distances. In terms of the strength of the winds and what we are anticipating, winds anywhere from 60 to 80 miles per hour. We could find gusts in the mountains, 80 miles per hour or higher. Some isolated spots even stronger than that. Widespread impact, multiple regions affected, including these wind-sheltered spots. And the duration, it's today right through Thursday, peaking later on tonight into Wednesday. You could see, just looking at those live pictures, Colleen and Michael, what that Santa Ana wind is doing to conditions out there in terms of that vegetation. There will likely be lots of hot spots. It's not just containment with the actual fire, but then you've got some hot spots in between all of that fuel as well.
Sure, and we're talking about these winds. They're really blowing those embers
You have been watching live coverage now from our KNBC station, our NBC station there in Los Angeles. Jacob Soboroff is joining us now, our NBC News correspondent who's out in L.A. Jacob, it is so stunning to see some of these images. We know about wildfires in Southern California, but to have it in Pacific Palisades, to have it in the Palisades like this, there's a lot of people who are affected, as we've been hearing now from KNBC.
Hallie, the Pacific Palisades is the neighborhood that I was born and raised in. I grew up in. And to see these pictures, I don't think in my lifetime I've ever seen anything like this. There's about 23,000 people who live in Pacific Palisades. It's a coastal community in between Santa Monica and Malibu. What the National Weather Service says is going on is about as bad as it can get in terms of danger from fire in Southern California. Even here at the Bureau at Universal Studios, where NBC News is based, we're about 20 miles away from there. And while some of my colleagues are on the ground there, you can feel the winds here. I just saw two of those firefighting aircraft fly overhead heading west out to battle the flames there. In the Palisades. We're talking about areas like the Palisades Highlands, where there's maybe as many as 1,000 homes. People literally live up in the Santa Monica Mountains. I, for most of my life, lived in the Santa Monica Mountains of Pacific Palisades, and it is a very difficult area to evacuate from in conditions like this. There are very limited routes in and out of the Palisades, especially the areas of the Palisades that are up in the Santa Monica Mountains. The entire community is down at the foothills of the Santa Monica Mountains. You're looking at pictures of places like Lockman Lane. I grew up 2 or 3 blocks away from some of the pictures that you're seeing on the screen. And as I said, this is a very unique, very rare. You can see the winds here now at the Bureau Universal, as dangerous as I think we've seen it, at least in my lifetime, in Southern California.
Yeah. Jacob Soboroff, critical perspective from somebody who knows this area so well. I'm going to ask you to stand by as we go back now to that KNBC coverage. So remember, folks, this is our NBC station in L.A. They have teams of reporters covering every inch of Southern California here, including in some of these critical locations where the fire is threatening homes. You've heard now from some of these people evacuating. Look at this. Smoke blanketing the horizon in Southern California. 546 in the east. It is 246 in the west. Let's go back to KNBC and listen in as you see some of these just stunning images here.
Yeah, I think that there's a number of people who have made a decision here to just leave with potentially someone else. But as Azucena, let's turn you around and walk you back out to the street, and we'll show you what we can see from the street here, because there are people who have made the decision to leave some of their vehicles. And the other part, you know, we've talked about it throughout the day, but the thing that complicates this is this happened in the middle of the work day when a lot of people already were at work, and it happened in the middle of the school day when there were a lot of kids at school. But you can see this road specifically looks a bit empty right now, but it's family by family. The decisions that they made, whether they left their vehicles or what they grabbed. But it's very quiet here now as people likely are watching anxiously and nervously to find out how this is going to play out, guys.
All right, Alex Rozier live for us there. We want to now turn our attention to NBC4's Karma Dickerson. She's live near a home that is actually burning right now. A strategic firefight going on right now here, Karma.
Firefighters doing everything they can to save every home that they can. And just minutes ago, flames erupted at this one on Lockman Lane. Now, there had previously been a fire in the back of the home, but a big gust of wind came and then the flames shot up. And you can see they're doing everything they can to beat it back. There are firefighters on all sides of this thing. We watched as they rushed in as the new black smoke erupted from this home. They're working on it, but they recognize, you know, that this is a really challenging situation. So much so, we want to give you an idea of what they tried to do once they realized that the flames were going to overtake this house. We walked up as they were in the midst of pulling these items from the home. Now, you can see right here, this is a large clock. Here, a large, what looks like an antique, very beautiful family clock here on the ground. There are also photo albums that the firefighters pulled from the home just minutes before the flames overtook it, because they said that they felt like they at least wanted to save something as they realized that these flames were overtaking the home. We can't really tell what exactly led to the flames flaring up as they did, besides the heavy winds that came through. But you can see even through the windows the glow of the orange. showing that the fire is moving from the back of the property closer and closer and closer to the front of it. And so that work continues right now. Now, the interesting thing is we passed this home maybe 5 minutes before, and we didn't see anything like this. So it shows how quickly things can change here. It really seemed that there was nothing in particular happening at this home. We went past it up the street, and then we turned around, and we saw that heavy black smoke. And actually just in front of us, we've had a big leaf from a palm tree fall from those heavy winds. So we're going to try to readjust and stay clear of this tree. If we can maybe move a little bit further this way so we're not right underneath that tree. So as the fire is one hazard, there's still the heavy wind creating other hazards here on the ground. A reminder that if you are still home, if you are still in the area, or if you're in any area where there's heavy winds, there
obviously, we're having issues. Everybody is out there because we're on cell service out there, and everybody's on their cells out there today trying to communicate with people. But we're talking about the smoke and how far away you can see it. I saw it from the 134. We showed you pictures from Playa del Rey. This is a picture of downtown L.A., I believe. That's what we see in the background here.
Wow. Barely see it in the background there, that is for sure. Here on the right is a camera here from Playa del Rey positioned there. So two very starkly different views here of the fire, depending on where you are in the city.
What's interesting about Karma's situation with that house on fire is we've been in that neighborhood several times. Nothing else around that house is on fire.
Yeah.
There were two other homes just down the way that caught fire and were destroyed, but everything else seemed to be okay. You would almost get a false sense of security that things were moving out of the area and the wind was taking the fire somewhere else.
We talked about this with Chief Sam earlier today, and even though it might not be happening in your particular neighborhood, there is no safe zone and a fire zone, essentially. So again, he talked about how those embers could be carried by these gusts of wind gusts of 3 to 4, 5 miles away. So again, no one is safe. No one is immune to what is happening here.
A lot of people evacuated in the area. Joining us on the phone right now is Mimi Teller. She's the communications manager for the Red Cross LA region. Mimi, you with us?
Yes, I am. How are you?
We're good. How are you? Talk to us a little bit about what the Red Cross is doing with this fire.
So we are currently opening up, or transitioning, I should say, the current evacuation center in Westwood at 1350 Sepulveda Boulevard. It's been an evacuation center for the last few hours, but now we are transitioning it to a shelter, and it's going to provide a safe place along with snacks and water for anyone who's affected.
When you say transitioning now to a shelter, is this for overnight accommodations as well?
That's correct, yes. And there's hot showers, too.
All right. So folks have been evacuated. Either they've been evacuated because they had to or because they wanted to. Have you seen a stream of people come to this location?
I'm not at the location yet, and we just pulled the trigger maybe 20 minutes ago, so it'll take us at least an hour and a half to get it ready to accept folks. So we'll have somebody on the ground there in about an hour, so we'll have more information at that point.
Mimi, what about pets and small animals and things of that nature? Will they be allowed at the shelter as well?
So right now, since it's still very, very early days, we haven't heard what the status is. If we are able to accept the small domestic pets, we do ask that they are in a carrying case or a crate or, their little tag-along carriers. But we will have more information on that all shortly. I mean, this has all just been happening in the last 30 minutes as far as the request coming into us.
Already?
We've been on standby, but now the details are coming in.
Yeah, standby. And again, you're already within 20 to 30 minutes of establishing the shelter, talking about transitioning it now into an overnight shelter for these folks. You guys stand at the ready. You don't need to get ready. You stay ready.
That's correct, and we've actually been ready since Saturday night for this. We already had our shelter trailers positioned in the area as soon as we heard this fire started this morning, and we've all been on standby, ready to do exactly what we're doing now, provide safety for those affected.
Mimi, I don't know how long you've been with the Red Cross, but historically, are you seeing many more situations where the Red Cross is being called to assist than you ever have?
Yes, and not just more situations, but bigger, costlier, more damaging situations. So we all know we just had the Malibu fire less than a month ago. So, yeah, this is 2 big fires in less than a month already in our area.
Okay, if you can talk about the shelter here for a second, in terms of what people can expect when they get there, how many folks can you accommodate? What can we tell our viewers?
So, again, it's early days. I don't know the shelter population, but we usually anticipate at least being able to house 50 to 100 people initially. We have a full staff there. They're going to make sure everyone's comfortable. There's cots, there's blankets. We will provide 3 meals a day, and most importantly, information. Information if they need to connect with loved ones, and also information on the status of their homes.
Maybe when people show up at these shelters, what do they tell you when they see you?
A lot of people are in shock, and some people are so numb, they just, I barely got out, I barely got my pet, and unfortunately sometimes they're not able to get their pets. So we do urge people, if they think they might have to evacuate, get their pets in one room and close the doors so they know where they are. But usually we see people in shock, and we just want to, give them comfort and let them know that we are there and we will support them through this experience.
Okay, of course, you guys are likely a lifeline for them in terms of providing information that they need, perhaps want, and again, in addition to the accommodations, the meals, the full staff, the whole nine. Before we let you go, Mimi, anything you would like our viewers to know about the work that the Red Cross has provided, what you do, and how they can benefit from it?
Well, what we do is available to anybody who needs help. So anyone who's affected, it doesn't matter your status at all. Please, we are there to help you. Please come, and you will be safe, you'll be comforted, and be prepared, and download our emergency app, and you'll get alerts and more information on what to do in situations like this.
All right, Mimi Teller with the Red Cross, thanks so much for your time and all the work that you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I believe on the right side of the screen, what we're seeing right now is the shot from Karma Dickerson, or is that the left side? She's on the left side where firefighters are tackling that fire at the house. Karma, are you with us?
Hold on a second.
Karma, are you back with us?
I'm sorry?
Well, we can tell you her location. Maybe we can establish contact with her. This is right at Glenhaven and Lockman. It's a place where we've seen, Michael, at least 2 other houses. This may be a 3rd one. Karma's back with us now? Or not?
All right. Well, interestingly enough, what stuck out to me about Karma's last live hit, and that was the fact that she said they had passed that house about 5 minutes before, and then realized it's now up in flames. So you talk about the nature of this fire, how things can change so quickly, and that's proof of it right there.
You know, you also talk about the job that the firefighters do out there. She said they went into this house, they've removed a grandfather clock, they've removed photos so that the family, when they come back there, will have something. They carried it across the street, put it on the sidewalk there. You don't think of that in terms of the jobs that they do, but they do. They do so much more than just put out the fire.
A little extra. I mean, and we talk about not only are we dealing with the winds and the firefight at that point, but we saw with Karma there are other elements involved as well. Palm fronds falling down, and again, gas leaks that we've reported on as well. So a lot of challenges, a lot of unexpected situations out there for firefighters and for those who live in and around that area.
Melissa McGee, we're going to call you back in. Are we approaching the witching hour, so to speak, for when the winds pick up out there?
In a few hours, Colleen, later on tonight, I mean, we're still expecting the most intense winds to arrive later on this evening. So the time frame we've been giving is anytime between 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight, right through the mid-morning hours tomorrow. I want to show you the satellite imagery because this really tells a story in the sense that we're dealing with strong Santa Anas. And if you look at the wording starting of Los Angeles, LA, and then look off to the west, you've got this large smoke plume. So we're able to detect this fire large up, well up in the atmosphere. And that fire, or at least the smoke from the fire, is blowing from the northeast all the way down to the south and west. These are significant Santa Anas on the way, and this is the strongest Santa Ana wind event we've seen so far this season. We've got an update for you for folks living in that area. If you see the smoke and the ash in your neighborhood, we've got a wildfire smoke advisory. This has just been issued, so this will stay up until 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Santa Monica, you're included in that, in areas to the south and west for Calabasas, over into Malibu. So some wildfire safety tips for you. If you see the smoke or the ash, remain indoors, close the windows. Obviously, if you're in an evacuation situation, it's a bit of a different story for you. Do what you can to get out and get out swiftly and safely. Avoid any physical activity outside. And if you are outdoors, keep it brief and use a mask. Let's bring it back to the Palisades fire and what we're tracking in terms of the wind, the relative humidity, and those strong Santa Anas. The Palisades, we've got winds gusting up to 24 miles per hour. Topanga Beach are close to 30 miles per hour. Then look off to the north and west. In the Santa Monica Mountains, we've got winds gusting up to 54 miles per hour with sustained winds a little lower than that. But it's the gust that's the concern as we go throughout the rest of tonight. Also, something of note, and something that I've noticed since we've been on the air talking about this fire, is that the relative humidity is starting to lower significantly. Earlier today, we had...
Hi, I'm Hallie. It is 6 o'clock in the East, and you are watching our continuing coverage of that big breaking news out of California. You have been looking at images at the scene here. This huge fire, 700 acres plus, in the Pacific Palisades. This is an area that is right in around L.A. It's a little bit north of Santa Monica, if you're familiar with the L.A. geography. And look at this. Tons of smoke. You have something like 20,000 people who have been asked to leave their homes tonight. Not far from downtown Los Angeles, you have some 15,000 people who do not have power. And look at this. Stunning images coming into us with this windstorm that has been forecast. This is live here, I'm being told. A live image of Los Angeles. This forecast of this windstorm over the last 24, 48 hours. You've heard emergency officials saying they have been trying to get ready. They are working to open shelters for the thousands of people who have been evacuated here in L.A. I want to get now, as you look, another live shot here. You see that now. The sky is dark. That is not because it is getting dark. That is because of all the smoke that is blanketing the horizon in Los Angeles there. Those thick clouds that have now drifted over downtown L.A. You saw from our meteorologist there from our sister station at KNBC that they can see those clouds of smoke from the satellite, essentially, from the radar, basically. That's how they're able to track some of this here. We've got teams standing by, not just our colleagues at our KNBC station out in L.A. Jacob Soboroff is there. Bill Cairns is standing by. But I want to start with Chase Kane, who has made his way on the ground. Chase, you're there. What are you seeing? Talk us through it.
Hallie, we're at a pretty famous, pretty well-known intersection. This is the Pacific Coast Highway and Sunset Boulevard, the famous Sunset Boulevard. I'm going to step out of the way and show you kind of what's going on here, because you can see that thick black smoke that you're referencing just on the ridgeline. We've actually seen in some of these apartment and condo buildings here on the hillside, we've actually seen flames popping up. I had to make my way on foot down Sunset Boulevard to get to the rest of my crew here. And as I was walking down Sunset Boulevard, there were several dozen cars which had to just be abandoned on Sunset Boulevard, because one of those embers was picked up by these really strong winds, came down and started a whole new fire. So firefighters and police were rushing to try and get people out of their cars. I mean, people were literally running down the sidewalk, Hallie, to try and get away from these incredibly fast-moving fires. I mean, you can see how even the smoke has picked up and has gotten thicker as it's blowing toward us right now. Firefighters are doing their best, but in conditions like this, it's virtually impossible for them to stop a fire like this. The fire officials here say that nearly 800 acres have already burned. This is a densely populated area for anyone that knows this part of Los Angeles. Santa Monica is within eyesight. Malibu is also just right up the road. Again, we are in Pacific Palisades, not far from where the Palisades fire is moving toward. The Getty Villa is also just up the road. Firefighters are kind of spreading out. They only have about 250 of them so far, they say, Hallie. So they're doing their best with what they have, but they are calling in more resources to try and get a handle on things, as, again, this fire is moving into and potentially, well, as we're seeing this dark black smoke right now, potentially even burning more of these buildings here, Hallie.
Do we know yet, Chase, if firefighters, we've talked about how this has exploded in size, right? It went from a couple hundred acres. We are now tonight at something like 770 acres. Do they have a handle on it? Is the wind preventing that from happening? Like, what do we know about that piece of it?
Yeah, I mean, you can probably just see how, like, these wind gusts are pretty strong.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this black smoke that's rolling in right now, Hallie. I mean, yeah, it's just, it's kind of impossible. I mean, you know, they haven't even been able to fly helicopters and planes like they typically would because these winds are so strong. So really the thing that they're doing at this moment is they're just trying to get people out of the way. There are mandatory evacuations in place. Before we even got to the worst part of the fire here closer to the beach, I mean, there were people who had suitcases, Hallie. They were just walking down the sidewalk as quickly as they can with suitcases trying to get, and they're with my helmet. That's how strong these winds are, Hallie. That they're just trying to get whatever they can out of the way.
That just is the wind taking your helmet off. Chase, give me a beat. I'm going to let you go. Get your helmet. That's critical. Go do that. I want you to stay with me in my ear if you can. I'm going to pull up the pictures live. I'm going to ask our director, Darren, to do that so Chase can go get his safety equipment, which he needs to have on to be able to do that live shot. As we're taking a look now, again, left side of your screen, these are, again, live images here. I'm going to ask my control room if we know specifically where this is from. I think this might be one of our KNBC live shots here. Yep, it's from KNBC, again, our station there. It is still the Palisades. You can see that fire truck out in front of what looks like a home. Obviously, listen, the camera shots are a little bit funky. That's because this is live breaking news here as L.A. Is dealing with this 700-plus acre fire. Is Chase back with us? Did he grab his helmet? Is he doing okay? All right, he's putting it on now.
Yeah. Hey, Hallie, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yeah, I got you, Chase. Go ahead.
Yeah, doing our best.
All right, we've lost Chase's shot. Let me go back to the left side of your screen. I think we saw Karma Dickerson there from our KNBC station. And her shot even is also a little bit crazy there because, as you can see, these firefighters now trying to put out flames. Now, Karma is one of our reporters who is at KNBC. Within maybe the last half an hour, she was standing out in front of a house. I mean, look at this. You see it here that had caught fire. The firefighters were working to try to get a handle on that. Here is the image. I think this may be Karma Dickerson's live shot there from our affiliate KNBC. She has stepped out of the way there. Just so people know, as you're looking at this, obviously all of our crews take the utmost safety precautions. There is a whole procedure and process in place. These are experienced teams covering wildfires. It is not unfamiliar in Southern California. Let me tell you, having lived out there, having worked out there, you cover wildfires a lot. That's a part of the beat. But something like this in the Palisades, I want to see if Bill Cairns is available. I think it might be helpful for folks to see a map of what we're talking about here. If you don't know the L.A. area, just to give you a sense of how close it is. I see Chase. I'm going to ask him to stand by. Bill, can you quickly just pull up a map, Bill Cairns, to show us where we mean? This isn't out 45 miles away from downtown L.A. You know what I mean? This is just north of Santa Monica.
Yeah, so Hallie, if the director pops up the map here. So this is the Pacific Palisades. You can see where Topanga Beach is located here once we pop that up. Weather 8's our source. And so here's Topanga Beach, and this is Casa Lamar, and this is where the fire is here. This is called the Highlands here, and this is the Pacific Palisades. Sunset Boulevard, Palisades drives down here, and then Sunset comes like this, and the Pacific Coast Highway is down here. Yep. The fire has started here and moved to the south. The winds are coming this direction, so they're pushing it towards the beach. Yeah, it's like a hurricane practically right now. The winds are going to get worse overnight. Firefighters are, they're trying to do. We were watching Carmen Schott there, the KNBC reporter, and there was 2 firefighters with hoses on that house, and they have retreated, and that house is now lost. Just to give you an idea of just, it's impossible of what they're trying to go against right now. It's so dry, it is so windy that, containment's not even possible right now.
Bill, that's the shot. Just so people know, I mean, we were just looking at this a few minutes ago. I mean, and this is what we're seeing now. It's smoke. That's all it is, right? Black smoke.
Yeah, so this fire is going to go wherever it wants, Hallie. I mean, they were doing some airdrops earlier in the day. I haven't seen any planes in at least the last hour or two because the winds are starting to increase. They may have just said it's not safe. I know the helicopters can't fly. We're not seeing aerials from our NBC station in L.A. because they don't have permission to fly because the winds are well over 50 miles per hour, which is their criteria. So we're seeing a lot of ground shots here. And, yeah, that's the shot of that house that they're still spraying water on it. If you missed it bit earlier when we were doing the coverage, the firefighters actually went into this home, removed what looked like a grandfather clock, an antique, put it across the street. They grabbed photo albums. So these firefighters almost knew that it was almost hopeless to try to save this, but they wanted to save something for the homeowners. And there's so many heroic things that are happening out there right now.
We're
with
watching
people,
a woman.
Yeah.
Leah, let me just, I think this is Chase Kane's live shot. I'm going to ask our control room to direct me on that front. It looks like it's somebody in a wheelchair being pushed by somebody else, being directed. Chase, can you tell us what's going on?
Yeah, hey Hallie, this is again, this is the kind of situation where you see here, this is a Los Angeles parking enforcement officer. This is that's showing you that this is truly an all hands on deck situation. They're trying to help these two ladies who are clearly trying to get out of harm's way. I don't want to interfere with them in case they're giving her care at this moment, but I mean, this is the kind of situation when I was describing just a moment ago that people are coming down the sidewalks with suitcases, sometimes with, just, I saw one lady that had just a couple of photos under her arms where people didn't have time. I mean, you can see how quickly this fire is spreading, how strong these winds are. I mean, the plumes of black smoke are just billowing over us right now, Hallie, which, it shows that some of the homes and some of the apartment and condo buildings that are here on this hillside at Sunset and the Pacific Coast Highway, that more of those buildings are burning. Fire officials said that, yes, multiple homes, multiple structures have burned. They don't know how many yet. They have reports of injuries. They don't know how many people may have been hurt because they're really just trying to get a handle on everything, Hallie.
Chase, I'm going to ask you to stand by. I want to go to Jacob Soboroff now, who's standing by for us. Jacob, I know you're getting ready to head out to get on the ground a little bit closer to where things are happening. Listen, give us some context, right? I think it was last month, it was Pepperdine that had that pretty intense fire. That's further out in Malibu. This is closer to L.A. You know this area well. You were telling us just 25 minutes ago you were born and raised in the Pacific Palisades. Talk us through what people watching around the country should know.
Where Chase is right now, Hallie, is at as he said, the intersection of Pacific Coast Highway and Sunset Boulevard. And the fact, to me, what sticks out is that the fact that the flames have moved from the areas that you're watching on your screen right at this moment in the Palisades Highlands, up Bienvenida Avenue, up in the Santa Monica Mountains, down to the corner of Sunset Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. Those flames have literally, it's not an exaggeration to say, those flames have literally traveled miles from the place where they started this morning down to literally to the Pacific Ocean. Where Chase is, that parking lot is the famous Gladstone's restaurant. It's a famous surf spot as well, the Sunset Surf Spot right there. Governor Gavin Newsom has arrived on the scene in Southern California. He's going to be briefing people from what is called Will Rogers State Beach down at the bottom of Pacific Coast Highway there. As you travel Pacific Coast Highway from Malibu to Santa Monica, there's several main thoroughfares and intersections that you'll pass through. One, right here, what you're looking at is the bluffs in Pacific Palisades from Pacific Coast Highway from Will Rogers Beach, where the governor will likely be briefing in just a minute. You travel from Malibu, you'll pass Temesco, you'll pass the Sunset Boulevard intersection where Chase is. You will pass Temesco Canyon, and then you get to an intersection called Chautauqua. That whole area of Pacific Palisades is under a mandatory evacuation order right now. There's not only Pacific Palisades High School at the top of Temesco Canyon at Sunset Boulevard that has been evacuated, Marquez Elementary School, Palisades Charter Elementary School. There's the Kehilat Israel Synagogue that is along Sunset Boulevard in that area. And as you were hearing from some of the reports earlier, there have been cars that have been abandoned all along not just Sunset Boulevard, but Palisades Drive coming down from the Palisades Highlands where thousands of people live. And as they evacuated, scenes like you're seeing on your screen right now, many people could not get out in time, so they got out of their vehicles and started walking. I've seen other reports and other networks here in Southern California that literally bulldozers are being put to use in the streets right now to push cars out of the way so the first responders can make their way to the scene. As I said to you earlier, this is a life-threatening situation, not just for the people in this area, but throughout large swaths of Southern California. You do not see winds like this. And when you see fires in Southern California, you mentioned the fire near Pepperdine and Malibu, generally they are in the less populated, more mountainous parts of Southern California. You do see occasionally fires that ravage these buildings and these homes, but not like this, not in a place where there's 23,000 people living in one of the larger neighborhoods in not just the county of Los Angeles, but right in the middle of the city of Los Angeles, Hallie.
It's staggering to see and to think about. Jacob Soboroff, thank you. I'm going to let you and your crew get in the car, make your way out there. We'll check back in with you later on tonight as this continues to develop. Sobo, thank you. I got to tell you, we have moved Chase Kane now. I'm not sure if that's his shot we're looking at on the left side of your screen. It is a different shot because Chase and his team are moving to a safer location. Let me just pull back the curtain a little bit to give you a sense of what's happening here. We are getting feeds in from a number of stations and partners across Southern California. These are live pictures coming in. Look at that. You should be seeing sky on the left-hand side of your screen. Instead, you just see smoke. Same in the bottom right corner. Another live shot there as we're taking a look here at what we're seeing right now in Southern California. In just about 15 minutes, stay with us because we expect to see the fire department deliver a briefing on where things stand, the status of this fire. That's coming up in just about 15 minutes from now. We will carry that live so that you are up to date. And here we are again, back at that live shot that we were looking at previously. We saw these images of a woman being wheeled in her wheelchair towards helpers, basically. It was a traffic enforcement officer. You see that she is now getting aid from other emergency responders who are out there. I can't tell if Chase hears us and can talk with us or if he's working to get his IFB in. So let me let him do his thing there. He cannot hear us at the moment. We've also got Bill Cairns, who's been tracking this, in addition to our partners at KNBC, who are continuing to follow all of this. Just to remind you by the numbers here, 770 acres burn in this very populated area. As you heard Jacob Soboroff, born and raised, by the way, in the Palisades, talking about here. A lot of people live here. 20,000 of them plus have been asked to leave, to evacuate. They had to do so very quickly. We have heard eyewitness accounts of people saying that they were throwing things in bags, getting out. One woman says she wished she had left just 10 minutes earlier because it was so difficult to get out. At this point, some 15,000 people do not have power. All of it, of course, triggered by this windstorm that Southern California is dealing with. Shelters have begun opening as well. We're going to take you back now to our live coverage from our station KNBC in Los Angeles for more. Let's listen in for just a moment.
From this morning into the afternoon hours. Earlier today, we had relative humidity numbers anywhere from 45 to about 55%, and now they're lowering into the lower teens there in Topanga Beach. So you've got all of those strong northeasterly winds moving down through the mountains, the canyons, and the passes from the northeast all the way down to the south and west, and it's really drying out the atmosphere. I want to show you the satellite imagery. This is a 2-hour loop here, and if you take your eye just to the west of Los Angeles, this is an indication of our satellite imagery picking up that smoke well up in the upper levels of the atmosphere here. So again, it's coming in from the north and east all the way down to the south and west, blowing out into the Pacific Ocean. Let's talk about wildfire triangles and what that typically means. We need certain things to help fuel fires. We've got the Santa Ana winds that are helping to make this fire more dangerous and more intense. So we've got the topography, that's the brush, the trees, the hills in the area there in the Palisades, and the fuel is also the dry conditions there on the ground. The weather we have outside right now, a drop in the humidity and these strong, significant northeasterly Santa Ana winds, the most significant Santa Ana wind event we've seen so far this season. Also new this afternoon, we've got a wildfire smoke advisory. So this will stay up until 5 p.m. on Wednesday until tomorrow. This is for Santa Monica. You are included in that because of the Palisades fire back to the north and west through Calabasas and just to the north of Malibu. We're dealing with strong, smoky conditions, and the winds are everywhere this afternoon. It's not just confined to the Palisades. Look at some of these gusts. Santa Clarita, we've got a gust up to 55 miles per hour, close to 50 in Lancaster, 40 in Riverside, and then we look at gusts there in Los Angeles, 15 down to Long Beach and at 30 miles per hour. So we're even starting to see these winds be an issue for some of our typical wind-prone and wind-sheltered locations. Let's talk about what we can expect. What's next as we go throughout the rest of tonight and into our Wednesday here. For the rest of this afternoon, we've got winds gusting anywhere from 20 to 50 miles per hour, blowing dust, debris, down trees. Power outages is a big concern in some communities. And then tonight, the peak of those winds will arrive anytime between 8 to 10 o'clock tonight through the overnight hours and as we wake up tomorrow morning. In terms of what you can anticipate with those winds for the coast and the valleys gusting anywhere from 60 to 70 miles per hour in some spots, and then the mountains will likely have winds gusting anywhere from 65 to 80 miles per hour, some spots higher than that for some isolated communities. Wednesday morning, we've got another burst of wind from Mother Nature that will be on the way. This is going to be slow going for the community, and of course, we're tracking the conditions as a result of the Santa Anas. You're seeing it here on your screen here, the trees, the palm trees in that location, just blowing the smoke, the ash, and we're seeing just dangerous spot fires in that area, you guys.
All right, Melissa, thank you. We want to remind you that we're waiting for a press conference from LA fire officials about the extent of this fire and what's happened. We're going to go, and there you see they're setting up for it right now. We expect that in the next, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 minutes or so. We're going to go back right now to Alex Rozier. He's on Glen Haven and Lockman. Sadly, we were watching a house just in the distance burn there. Alex, firefighters haven't been able to get a hand on this?
Yeah, it's tough to tell from where we are, Colleen, but you know that we've been out in the general vicinity for about the last couple of hours, and it's really just shocking how fast things can change here in this neighborhood. I mean, we for the longest time had been seeing this home, and the flames had been close, and then all of a sudden they just took over this property right here. But I think that speaks to the importance of listening to these evacuation orders and because with the winds gusting like they are, shifting directions, this can change so fast, and that's what we're seeing right here. But it's really difficult to consider the realities of what we're faced with right here, and all these families, so many of them that have lived in the Palisades for such a long amount of time, and now these winds continue and they strengthen throughout the night. We'll be interested to see how the LA City Fire Department, what they have to say about the ongoing story out here. But I can tell you that we have been seeing crews pop up here and there, but frankly, with how fast the winds are moving, it's tough for them to do. They're jumping from spot to spot. They've got as coordinated of an approach as they possibly can. But right now the winds are so fast moving and so unpredictable, and it's led to what we're seeing right now. We have a fire in the distance directly to the east. And as I showed you in that video that we showed previously, a couple blocks behind us directly in the west, there are a couple more homes. And that's just what I've been able to see with my own eyes. So we'll be watching this as the night progresses and as these winds sadly get more intense. Colleen and Michael.
You know, Alex, before we let you go here, you spoke to a homeowner who was helping his mother-in-law evacuate not too long ago. And he says he's lived in different parts of the Palisades, but he has never seen this part of the Palisades burn before.
No, and he actually has made the decision now to evacuate. So Stuart, who we talked with earlier, has left, and I think everybody's just hoping for the best and hoping that the winds don't get any closer to these homes. As I mentioned, this home right here, we're standing with his blessing on the property of his mother-in-law's house. She's been here for 30 years, and so many of the people here have stories similar to this one. She talked about all the work that she's done here, and they're just keeping their fingers crossed. Yeah. You know, when we were first pulling up today, aside from the homes, you have the schools that are nearby. We were driving up Pacific Coast Highway into the neighborhoods here. We were passing schools and the kids that were evacuating. And I mean, no time is ever a good time for this, but it was in the middle of a work day, in the middle of a school day, and it's causing big problems as we get closer to the rush hour into the early evenings here.
You know, as we look
You
at
have been listening there to our NBC station KNBC in Los Angeles. I want to go to Chase Kane, who is live for us in the Pacific Palisades. We've also got another live shot here of where we expect to see potentially this news conference set to begin in just about 10 minutes. Chase, you have made your way, I think, just down a little bit to a more safe location. Tell us what you're seeing as we're just getting more information in. 250 firefighters on scene. This fire, nearly 800 acres burned so far.
Yeah, Hallie, we're still close to that intersection.
All right, you're seeing Chase's live shot there breaking up. And let me just tell you why that's happening. He's coming into us through technology that we use that involves cell phones. You might imagine Everyone and their mothers is on cell phones right now in LA, right? Trying to get in touch with their loved ones, trying to figure out where they need to be going, trying to figure out how their homes are doing and what happens next. Let me ask our team to go back to that live shot we were just showing. Let me see if you can pick out that familiar face in the middle there. That's California Governor Gavin Newsom, who has made his way now to the Palisades. We expect a news conference from the LA Fire Department in just about the next 8 minutes. You're looking at that now live on the left-hand side of your screen, given what we have seen from this fire. Let me just go through with you. At this point now, we understand from Los Angeles fire officials that there's something like 30 cars that have been essentially abandoned on some of these key locations here. They're going to bring a bulldozer in. They're just going to clear those cars away. They need access to these fire crews. They need to be able to get out of there and get to the people who need help and get to the homes who need help. The expectation now is that overnight, these winds, we've been talking about this windstorm, these winds will hit their peak. They haven't even hit their peak yet. That is not going to happen until maybe 8, 9, 10 o'clock tonight into the overnight hours and into the early morning. So it is only going to get worse before it gets better, which is not a sentence that anybody who lives in this area of Los Angeles wants to hear. Let me see if Chase Kane is back with us now as he has made his way now to Sunset Boulevard, which is right there on the coast leading up to the Pacific Palisades Highlands, essentially, up into the mountains there. Chase, walk us through it.
Hallie, we just got some concerning information from LA police. They said that the Malibu Hills Mobile Home Park, which is just south on the Pacific Coast Highway from where we are, you may see this white condo building. Just on the other side of that, there's a mobile home park there, and the fire started making its way down the hill. They've been trying to get people out of there, unsure if they're going to be able to get everyone out in time. And you also may have just heard an explosion in the background. This fire is not contained in just one pocket because these winds are so strong. It'll grab embers and it can blow those embers hundreds of yards away. So it's starting all of these little spot fires. The only silver lining, and this is not good news, Hallie, is that we're at the Pacific Ocean. So at some point, this fire will run out of real estate. But you're looking at this thick black smoke. This is coming out of the Hollywood Hills. This is Pacific Palisades. Again, Sunset Boulevard at the Pacific Coast Highway where we are. As I was making my way down here to the camera on foot, I mean, you could see multiple homes burning. The fire would just pick up. It would catch a tree. It would catch a bush. It was catching cars on fire. There were several dozen cars that just had to be abandoned here on Sunset Boulevard because people were sitting in gridlock, people trying to get to their homes, other people trying to get away from their homes. And at some point, police and fire just said, hey, this is out of control. You got to get out of your car. So people are on foot making their way to safety. Again, on Sunset Boulevard, they had to bring in a bulldozer to try and move some of the cars out of the way so that fire trucks could then get through. Of course, mandatory evacuations in this area. But honestly, Hallie, like the heartbreaking, the frightening thing about this is that, you know, you just can't move people as quickly as this fire is burning, especially, you know, just a little while ago on live TV, we were showing you there was a woman in a wheelchair where she was having to have assistance. So, you know, if you imagine that someone isn't as mobile as other people, they're not going to be able to get out of harm's way quickly. And that's something that we've seen here. Fire officials are telling us that there are injuries, but they don't have a full sense or full handle on the situation because it is developing so quickly. But within the next few minutes, we're supposed to get a full update from fire officials, and also Governor Gavin Newsom is here as well, Hallie.
We expect that update in the next 5 minutes. Chase, I want to stay with you here because one of the things that Jacob Soboroff, of course, who lives in L.A., who works in L.A., was talking us through is just this area being so close. You're obviously right there along the coastline here. You go, I think, down the coast, you hit Santa Monica. If you turn inland, you go in towards, Hollywood, into downtown LA there. And I hear emergency crews behind you, too, all of which is to just give some context to the area where this is happening.
Yeah, I can help set the scene a little bit. So off to the left side of your screen, again, this is the Pacific Coast Highway. This direction would be Malibu if you head just up the Pacific Coast Highway behind where those police cars are. Where the one police car just turned to the right, Sirkan, if you can see that. This intersection that we're at, that is Sunset Boulevard. That's, again, where we're seeing this thick black smoke. If you can pan the camera back to the right a bit, we're seeing another plume of thick black smoke, which suggests that yet another building, yet another home may have caught on fire here. It's a pretty developed area. Yes, there's lots of hills and canyons, again, along Sunset Boulevard through Pacific Palisades. But even right here at this intersection, you see a multiple-story condo apartment building, businesses on the bottom. This is a really well-known area for people in Los Angeles. It's not far from where I enjoy coming to the beach in LA. So I think anyone who's spent any time, certainly anyone who lives in Los Angeles, they're very familiar with this area. And again, a mobile home park just to the south of where we are towards Santa Monica. where they are doing their best to try and get people out before the flames make it down the hill, Hallie.
Let me ask our team, Chase, to pull up the live shot. I think it was a live shot that we were just showing of that house on fire. Is that live? I'm asking our control room. That's Pacific Palisades. That is a live shot. It's just, it never gets easier to see something like that. We've covered a lot of wildfires, folks that have lived out west. Chase, you know, I mean, how many wildfires have you covered, right, as an LA correspondent there? It never gets any easier to see people's homes being destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, Hallie. I mean, you know, the other heartbreaking thing is when you see people just coming down the sidewalk and they have a suitcase or they have some pictures under their arm. It's just heartbreaking because, you know, they had mere moments. I mean, even just as you're looking right now, one of the embers has caught a palm tree on fire there. I mean, that's how a fire works like this when you have such strong winds. That's why the National Weather Service said this is a particularly dangerous red flag situation. And my producer, Steven's talking to me as well. The palm tree. Yeah, so the palm tree is yet another spot where you've seen one of these embers catch. I mean, a lot of buildings here that at any moment, Hallie, you get one ember in the wrong place and people's lives are destroyed.
And you look at how fast this fire is moving. Chase, when we started this rolling coverage, not even 90 minutes ago, I think it was just an hour ago, it was something like 800 acres burned. We are now learning it is 1,200 acres that have been burned, several hundred more acres now in just the last little bit. Just to give you a sense of the speed, the scope, the scale of this, I want to remind people that we are within, we think, 2 minutes now of this briefing where we expect an update. We've seen the California governor there. You see folks coming to the microphone in just a second. They are getting ready now for an update from the Los Angeles Fire Department. We know, Chase, that some 250 responders from the LAFD are out there, along with help from other emergency agencies, other crews that are in the area to try to get a handle on this thing.
Yeah, at least 250, and that was probably 45 minutes, an hour ago. I mean, they've been calling in from Ventura County, from Riverside County, from, I mean, anywhere, Orange County, anywhere they can get firefighters into this area because, again, this just moves so quickly. Wind gusts, as Bill Cairns has been pointing out, of potentially hurricane force wind gusts. I mean, that's the reason they said this is a life-threatening situation. I mean, again, a palm tree catches on fire from one ember. You know, what if that ember catches the Taco Bell? There's a grocery store through the smoke right there. You hear more emergency vehicles coming through. Also, lots of condo towers in this area. A lot of people live right here along the Pacific coast because it's just such a beautiful place, Hallie. And yeah, as someone who lives here, I mean, this is a heartbreaking thing. Yeah, I don't know that I've experienced a wildfire like this in the dozens and dozens that I've covered.
Chase, I'm going to ask you to stand by. We're expecting that press conference to begin any minute, but I understand that our station, KNBC, has a fairly eerie live shot up. Let me see if we can take it and listen for just a sec.
Yep, I got you.
The tragedy of this home burning, but obviously the heightened level of concern for those neighbors on either side of that house. I mean, will their house be next? I mean...
And Camilla, did you mention the house to the right of that? That neighbor is there? Or does it look like everybody...
I may have lost you guys. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
I'm not sure she can hear us. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I can hear you guys now. It's just, again, just so devastating to see this. This is one of several homes that we have seen here in Pacific Palisades burning at this hour. As we spoke to that homeowner, just hoping, you know, fire crews will get here to spare her home, but obviously just very difficult to watch this right now, and it's only intensified.
I'm trying to see, Michael, the house to the right looks like there may be someone in that house. Is that what you're talking about, Camilla?
So on the right, or the house right here, there's no one inside. That homeowner evacuated that we spoke with, but we can't tell up the hill. There's another home. Just trying to get a better idea of how close it is to this home that's burning right now, but it's very difficult to tell.
Right. So the good news here in all of this is that the homeowner to the right of where this fire is burning has evacuated. So again, we were wondering whether in fact they were still on the property, but they have since evacuated. Again, just living with the unknown at this point.
Yeah, and at least at this point, it is contained to that one house. Yeah,
just waiting. That homeowner, he said, yeah, living with the unknown is the best way to describe this.
All right, Camilla Rambaldi, we appreciate.
And now we can tell that I'm just walking up the hill here. You can get a better idea. It's hard from our vantage point, but just how close those flames are now getting to this neighboring home.
Right.
That is so sad when you look at it.
It is intensified there. Again, you look at the flames just billowing through the windows there. Again, the homeowner Camilla spoke with lives to the right of the structure that is currently burning now. And again, you can only hope, with no ground crews in sight, at least from our vantage points. Again, living with the unknown, as we mentioned, is a scary situation there for that homeowner.
And as Chief Sam pointed out, the smoke is black, so clearly there is fuel inside the home or behind the home that is burning right now. This one, I hate to say it, on Donata Way, looks like a total loss.
All right, we will check back in with the Camilla here as our coverage continues. It is just after 3:30. We're continuing our coverage of the Palisades fire.
You've been watching KNBC, our station there for NBC News in Los Angeles, in Southern California, where we understand that a fire in Pacific Palisades has burned some 1,200 acres. Could you hear that high-pitched sound, that beeping noise in the background of that live shot? That, we think, was the smoke detector going off in a house that has caught fire. One of several houses that we've seen here, even as we've been watching this live coverage in the Palisades of all of this happening. We also were showing you a live shot of a news conference that we expect to begin any second. It was supposed to begin about 5 minutes ago. We think it's going to happen really any minute. An update now from the Los Angeles Fire Department. You see it on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. We know the California Governor Gavin Newsom has also made his way to the Palisades for a briefing himself. It is the expectation that we are going to get potentially some updated figures out of this. As we understand, there are hundreds of firefighters trying to get a handle on this, but it's the wind that is the issue. In some of the live shots you've seen, the wind just picking up, these gusts blowing that thick black smoke right on over our correspondents, our reporters, our camera crews that are out there. It is expected that this windstorm is not even going to peak for several more hours, into the overnight hours in Los Angeles, into the morning there. Chase Kane remains with us there. We also have Dr. Akshay Syal, who is joining us not in his capacity as a physician, Dr. Syal, but just as a person who happens to live in Santa Monica, which is just down the Pacific Coast Highway from where this fire is spreading here. Dr. Syal, just very briefly, thank you for making your way onto your roof for us. You can see the smoke from where you are. You're somebody who lives in L.A. Give us a sense of what you're seeing.
Hey, Hallie, so you can see there's quite a big cloud of smoke here right behind me. And here where I live in Santa Monica, essentially been, just watching that cloud of smoke kind of inch closer and closer towards us. You can hear, fire trucks here and sirens every few minutes. And, one thing we're really looking for as the wind turns up is how are those people with those lung disease and chronic conditions going to be affected? So if I can just take a moment to remind everybody to wear one of these if you are somebody who has a chronic condition. This is a KN95 mask to really stay safe and make sure that, this doesn't need to be worse than it is.
Dr. Syal, thank you very much. Keep an eye on things and keep us posted if you see anything else from your vantage point there in Santa Monica. Chase Kane is with us as well. And Chase, KNBC is reporting that perhaps a part of the Pacific Coast Highway is closing down, as well as a portion of one of the big highways out there. I think NBC News is waiting to confirm that. But it certainly wouldn't be surprising, given that we know, for example, that some cars need to be bulldozed out of the way, for example, on the PCH, on Sunset Boulevard, to make room for emergency responders to get in where they need to go.
Hallie, the Pacific Coast Highway has been closed for a while. If you see cars here behind me, that's because firefighters and police are trying to get them off of other roads to keep it clear for firefighters. That road where the thick black smoke is blowing down the road right now, you see these cars turning onto the road that we're closest to. They're turning off of Sunset. So it was maybe 150, 200 yards, not very far up Sunset Boulevard, where you had that cluster of maybe 3 dozen cars where by the time I walked through, Hallie, all the cars have been abandoned and firefighters were walking through, looking in the windows to make sure that they had gotten people out of the vehicles. the best explanation I can give you is it felt like a scene from The Walking Dead, because you're just seeing this apocalyptic scene with fire and smoke pouring across the road, a sea full of empty cars, and then they're bringing in a bulldozer to try and just shove the cars off of Sunset Boulevard again so that they could get the fire trucks there. This is the Pacific Coast Highway. This side of the screen would be the direction of Malibu. This side of the screen is Santa Monica. Now, you can't see Santa Monica right now. You can barely see to the other side of the street. But if this was a clear day, you would easily see the famous Santa Monica Pier, the Ferris wheel, all of those iconic shots of LA would be within distance. But again, you can barely see across the road right now. There's a gas station, there's a Taco Bell, there's a grocery store. There's also a condo building. Just on the other side of the condo building is a mobile home park where, again, LA police said that they were doing their best to get people out of there because the fire moved so quickly down into this canyon where this mobile home park is. They were concerned about being able to get people out of there. Again, these cars are ones that had been stuck in the gridlock that was backed
Chase,
up
I'm
for
going to jump in
miles
here
as people
because
were rushing
Captain
to
Eric Scott from the LA Fire Department is speaking now. Chase, we'll get back to you. Let's listen into this news conference.
This is all for the Palisades fire, which is approximately 1,200 acres. And to go into all the specifics, we have a list of 8 individuals that will speak for you today. After those 8 individuals, we'll have Spanish, and then we'll have follow-up questions. After that, we'll have one-on-one interviews and let you know when the next press conference will be. So we ask at this time, please silence your cell phones, turn down your radios, keep your sidebar conversations off to the side. But to begin with, we'd like to call up the fire chief of the Los Angeles City Fire Department, Kristen Crowley.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'll be giving you a brief on what your LEFD has done up to this point. So at 10:30 this morning, a brush fire was reported at 1190 North Piedra Miranda Drive in our local fire station here right behind us at Fire Station 23. Los Angeles is currently experiencing an extreme fire weather condition with red flag alert. At the time of the fire, the relative humidity was 12 and the winds were approximately 25 miles an hour with gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Based on the red flag weather, your LEFD pre-deployed additional resources, made public awareness notifications, and issued parking restrictions in high hazard fire areas to ensure that the means of access and egress of our local fire stations and apparatus could move up and in around the area. First LEFD resources reported initially a 10-acre fire with 40-mile-per-hour winds and alignment heading towards the west or towards the ocean. The LEFD then requested all resources, including strike teams and aircraft from assisting agencies. We then went into an aggressive attack and focused our efforts on fire life safety operations, beginning with evacuations. Currently, the fire is at 1,261 acres and growing based on aerial reconnaissance. The fire is being fueled by a combination of strong winds and surrounding topography, which is making it extremely challenging for our personnel that are assigned to this incident. We currently have over 250 LEFD firefighters on scene, including 46 engines, 3 trucks, 5 helicopters, 4 brush patrols, 2 water tenders, 6 paramedic ambulances, 1 fast response vehicle, 1 advanced nurse practitioner unit, 2 bulldozers, 10 chief officers, fire investigators, and safety officers. Additionally, we are so grateful for the hundreds of law enforcement officers, partner agencies, first responders, and public work members that are engaged actively in this operation. PCH is closed from Lincoln Tunnel to Topanga Boulevard. Evacuation orders are in place for approximately 30,000 residents, including the Highlands area. North of PCH, south of Topanga Canyon Boulevard, east of Tuna Canyon Road, west of Seabreeze Drive and Surfside Drive. Our evacuation center is the Westwood Recreation Center located at 1350 South Sepulveda Boulevard in LA. The population threatened is approximately 25,748. Households threatened is approximately 10,367. Structures threatened are approximately 13,208. At this point, we feel very blessed at this point that there's no injuries that are reported. We do have reports of multiple structures that are damaged. Since the beginning of this fire, I've been in constant communication with Mayor Bass, as well as other city leadership, who's working very, very closely. As you can see, this entire entity behind me, we're working seamlessly and closely to ensure that we are protecting lives and property first. So with that, we'll go ahead and introduce the next speaker.
Thank you, Chief Crowley. The next speaker will be the Los Angeles County Fire Chief Maroney.
So good afternoon. My name is Anthony Maroney. I'm the County of Los Angeles Fire Department Chief. Shortly after the start of the Palisades fire, LA County Fire did assist the City of Los Angeles with a first alarm brush assignment. At 11:30 hours this morning, our LA County Fire Department went into unified command with the City of Los Angeles, and at 12:30, our CAL FIRE partners from the state went into unified command with not only LA City Fire, LA County Fire, and LAPD. Currently, LA County Fire is providing aerial resources to fight this brush fire, including our Firehawk helicopters, our CH-47, part of our nighttime QRF resource that we have, in addition to our CL-415 Super Scoopers. We also have 3 engine strike teams assigned and almost 100 LA County Fire personnel. I want to let all of the viewers and listeners know that we are not out of danger. The National Weather Service has predicted that the winds are going to pick up and get worse. We're going to have the most significant wind event between 10 p.m. this evening and 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So it's incumbent that everybody have a wildfire action plan for their home if they live in a brush-covered area. Please visit the LA County Fire Department website for Ready, Set, Go information. So that's fire.laccounty.gov/RSG. And for the most up-to-date incident information and emergency preparedness information, go to lacounty.gov/emergency. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. During emergencies, always by our side is our friends from law enforcement. So we'd like to invite LAPD Chief of Police Jim McDonald.
Thank you very much. We are here in a support role to our fire partners. Just a quick rundown. We have over 100 officers here deployed, another approximately 60 ready to be deployed once a mission is given to them. So far, the major job for our people have been evacuation, traffic control, allowing ingress and egress to emergency vehicles, and those can be helpful. I would have an ask that if you would, please do everything you can to open up the streets so we can get the resources we need to be able to deal with this emergency. Please take this wind emergency very seriously. As you heard from the speakers before me, this is something that is going to get worse throughout the night, so we all have to look out for each other. Areas of evacuation so far, about 30,000 people have been evacuated from a total of 10,000 households or 15,000 structures, to include businesses and other buildings so far, with no injury. So we're very thankful for that, but we truly ask for all assistance that we can get in making this as smooth as we possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief McDonald. We'd also like to call up LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath, please.
Thank you. My deepest thanks to the first responders who are working tirelessly to fight this Palisades fire. Moments ago, Chair Barger signed LA County's emergency proclamation for this fire, for the severe wind event and all of the fires related to it. As the National Weather Service predicted, this is a life-threatening situation. To our Palisades and Topanga community under evacuation order, please leave. Ensure your home is unlocked, the power is off, and making sure first responders can easily access the structure. This is essential to keeping you safe and to allowing fire and first responder personnel to do their work. For our unincorporated communities in Santa Monica Mountains, including Sunset Mesa, Topanga Canyon, and Malibu, all under evacuation order and evacuation warning. Please ensure you are checking emergency.lacounty.gov and heeding all door-to-door information from our LA County Sheriff and Fire Departments. Thanks to our partners at the Topanga Coalition for Emergency Preparedness, who work year-round to practice evacuation drills and emergency preparedness, and they're working tirelessly right now to ensure information is shared across Topanga. For those with livestock, the evacuation location is Pierce College. For those needing small animal evacuation location, the Agora Animal Shelter is available to you. Thank you to Governor Newsom for your quick support and coordination. Thanks to Mayor Bass, to Councilmember Park, and all of the council members in the city, and all of our partners, city, county, and state, unified and working together to keep people safe and address this fire. The county and city of Los Angeles have a lot of experience in unified command. This emergency is no different. We're dedicating every resource we can to urgently contain this fire. I want to extend my gratitude to the Los Angeles County Fire Department, the Sheriff's Department, the Office of Emergency Management, and all of our county partners. I know LAUSD officials also wanted to be with us, but given the conditions, that was challenging. A few school updates. Topanga Elementary at Woodland Hills Academy will be relocated all week. Palisades and Marquez Elementaries will be relocated at Brentwood Science Magnet for tomorrow. Paul Revere Middle School will be relocated at University High tomorrow. Pali High School is not in session this entire week, and Canyon Elementary will be relocated at a location to be determined. To those affected by the Palisades fire, I know today is terrifying and it is painful. Please know that you are not alone. The County of Los Angeles and all of our partners are here together to stand with you and be in support of you. Thank you again to everyone who is contributing resources to this incident. Your partnership is appreciated and it is essential to keeping people safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor. Next, we'd like to bring up Los Angeles City Council President Marquis Harris Dawson.
Thank you so much. I just want everybody to know that since this morning, about 7 a.m., I've been in direct communication with Mayor Bass, who's on her way home from a diplomatic mission on behalf of the United States government. She will be here within hours. Also, we want everybody to know that the city is well prepared and has a tremendous emergency management infrastructure who has been on the case since 6 this morning at the beginning of this wind event. I'm proud to say that we have some of the best men and women anywhere in our fire department, our police department, as well as their partners across the state and across the county. I am also want everybody to know that as acting mayor and president of the LA City Council, along with the county, and we'll hear from the governor later, the city of LA is declaring a state of emergency through this wind event, and we'll have all resources on deck. And our ask, our personal ask, and we'll hear from the council member from this district, but if you can stay off of our roads, please do so to allow emergency vehicles to go across the city. And also, remember, we'll continue to drive this home. The worst and most severe part of this wind event is yet to come. So if you're around the city and you have been spared, be thankful, but also be on guard. Bring your lawn furniture in. And again, help us by staying off the roads. And I will ask the council member from this district who's been on the street since early this morning, making sure the neighborhoods have the information that they need and resources that they need to come to the podium, our own Councilwoman Tracy Park.
You have been listening to that news conference now from officials in Los Angeles with some significant updates here. As this fire in Pacific Palisades has now spread to some 1,200 acres. This is just north of Santa Monica. There are 30,000 people who are under evacuation orders right now. Fortunately, amazingly, no injuries have been reported at this point, but you do have something like 10,000 houses that are currently at risk. All in all, something like 13,000 structures, they said. And the bottom line here, as the LA County Fire Chief put it, they are not out of danger yet. The wind is supposed to pick up later on tonight in Southern California into the early morning hours, and that is when things will get even more treacherous than they are now. Things will get worse, as you heard, before they get better. You are looking on the left-hand side of your screen at a live shot that we've been following over the course of the last 90 minutes from our sister station, KNBC, in Los Angeles. There, our NBC News station, and it is just engulfed. You see that firefighter now in the foreground trying to do whatever they can to get some water on that fire, to try to put it out. This is a scene that is replaying again and again in Southern California. You've got something like 250 firefighters in all who are on the front lines in the Palisades as we speak, and they are begging people, take this seriously. Grab what you need and get out now if you haven't already. We have already heard from a number of people who live in the area who said they did exactly that. They grabbed their things, they raced as fast as they could, some of them stuck in traffic, couldn't get out, roads closed, et cetera, but they tried to get to safety. And we've been watching these live shots, including from Chase Kane, who's joining us now, and from Liz Kreutz, our NBC News correspondent based in Southern California, who is joining us also from the Palisades. Liz, your live shot, rather extraordinary. As we look down the road past you, explain to us what we're seeing.
Yeah, hey, Hallie. I mean, this has been an extraordinary, it continues to be an extraordinary, volatile, chaotic situation that's unfolding right now. Everything sort of changes every moment. Just to set the scene, we're on the Pacific Coast Highway right now. The ocean is to my right. And these flames, the wind is moving this direction. The winds are picking up. And in the distance, you see this huge plume of smoke. And at times, you might see it. There's big flames that are coming up as this fire continues to move towards the coast. And I can just tell you, Hallie, myself trying to get to this fire, we had some pretty hairy situations. It was gridlock traffic with hundreds, thousands of people trying to get out, to the point where such bumper-to-bumper traffic that, as you mentioned, people just abandoned their cars on Sunset Boulevard. I mean, one of the most iconic streets in California, abandoned their cars, got out. We were part of that group, and we got stuck. At one point, we had flames on both sides of the road around us. We were thankfully safe. We stayed in our car. Firefighters were there and put out those flames. They told us just to stay there and roll up the windows. But at one point, then even a bulldozer came through to bulldoze through those cars to create a path so that first responders could get through. And that's eventually how we were then able to get through to make it to the Pacific Coast Highway. So if you can imagine, that was just leading up to the hardest hit parts of the fire. It's just an incredibly chaotic day right now with 30,000 people under evacuation. We've seen multiple homes and heard of multiple homes up in flames. It's remarkable right now that officials are saying nobody injured because this came fast and people had to get out very quickly, Hallie.
Extremely fast. That has been one of the words of the evening there, Liz. Thank you very much. I want to get to Chase Kane because, Chase, one of the things, while this fire spread quickly, it may not get under control very quickly. We are hearing now from that news conference from officials there that it could take a couple of days to get this under control, for people to be able to return home. We've been watching your live shot, Chase. You talked about embers catching on a palm tree where you are. It looks like that palm tree from the live shot that we saw a couple of minutes ago is maybe going up.
Yeah, the palm tree burning. It was one of the things that an ember caught, and it looks like one of the employees of this gas station just across the street. He's actually, maybe hard to see through the smoke, but he's actually brought a garden hose out, and he's been watering down the ground as these embers catch. He was trying to put some water on that palm tree there as well. I mean, doing whatever he can, because there is so much fire that is spreading.
Chase.
So. Yeah, I mean, we're getting, effectively tropical storm force winds. And one of the things that, I think is most concerning is that the forecast is that this is going to be even worse tonight. So, Hallie, the reality of this is that this fire is probably going to have to burn all the way to the ocean. It's going to have to run out of real estate because it's going to be just impossible for firefighters to get a handle with the wind this strong.
Chase Kane, thank you very much. We'll take you back now. Governor Gavin Newsom speaking to reporters.
Police chief, sheriff's office, all of our local law enforcement agencies that work hand in glove. There is simply no better mutual aid system anywhere in the United States of America. And you're seeing it now at scale once again here in Southern California. I say once again because we were here not too long ago, the Franklin fire. A few weeks prior to that, the Mountain Fire. November, December, now January. There's no fire season. It's fire year. It's year round. And it's incredibly important that we heed the warnings, the calls, that we're not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. You may feel at home that you're fine down in Riverside County, San Bernardino County, down in Ventura County, other parts of the state, but there's a reason we pre-positioned hundreds of assets and personnel on Sunday in anticipation of this wind event. 110 engines specifically were sent down, 45 by CAL FIRE, 65 through our mutual aid system, through the Office of Emergency Services, water tenders down here, 7 new helicopters we brought from Northern California down to Southern California. We just brought our C-130 down from Northern California. It already just had its first drop. By no stretch of the imagination are we out of the woods. You heard Chief say 10 p.m. tonight till 5 a.m. tomorrow will be peak winds. And having just quite literally an hour or so ago gone up the canyon and saw firsthand the impact of these swirling winds and the embers and the number of structures that are destroyed, not a few, many structures already destroyed, and the fact that people were still not evacuated, still did not heed the warning, were just coming down the canyon, is a reminder of how serious this moment is and how important it is you listen to these evacuation orders. We've all been to memorials. I've never been to a memorial for a building, but for family members and loved ones. I know you cannot say this enough. It's foundational. One other thing I want to say, because you can't say it enough, is expression of gratitude. The President of the United States happens to be in town. It didn't take more than a text message to get the FMAG approved, which means we're getting reimbursed for the vast majority of these costs. No politics, no hand-wringing, no kissing of the feet. The President of the United States said, yes, what else do you need? Emergency proclamations being drafted as we speak. And I just want to thank the President, because that's something I don't take for granted and something we should not take for granted at this moment in American history. So thank you, President Biden, as well. Final point. We encourage you. You heard all those websites. I don't want to burden you with any more except one. Fire.ca.gov. And why do I say that? Nothing like it in the countries, nothing like that we've seen in any jurisdiction around the world. 3D maps and live cams on fire.ca.gov would also show you the evacuation orders. I encourage people to take a look at that site for information. And of course, ready.ca.org to make sure that you're prepared as we work through yet another extraordinary month in this fire year, perpetual fire year here in the state of California. Thank you again to all of the folks behind me and the outstanding leadership of all the elected officials as well. And forgive me, one point I'd be remiss. Thank you to Mayor Bass, who was on the phone immediately this morning, making sure even in absentia.
You have been listening, of course, to California Governor Gavin Newsom as a fire is burning in the LA area, some 1,200 acres, 30,000 people under evacuation orders. You are watching NBC News Now. We will have continuing coverage picking up right now.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.